Good evening once again. M.M Out There, over there, everywhere, all over the place. I don't have to tell you. The Apostle Leroy Campbellberry.
Yes, sir.
Right here. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic. How are you,
Had a good week?
Very good week.
Okay.
Very good week.
Me too. Playing every ball as it comes.
Yes, sir.
Before I start, I want to say, you know I always shout to people who watch.
That's correct.
I'm going to say hi to Jackie Ford. She's from all the way in Ruby Park, St. Philip. Or Ruby in St. Philip. William Yarwood, an Assistant Commissioner of Police.
Okay.
Okay. Carson Hines.
Carson Hines.
Yes, a former Assistant Commissioner of Police. And Vernon Sandiford, former cricketer. Right, he's played for Carlton and PCL.
Okay.
And they all watch our
M.M Out There.
M.M Out There.
Yes,
and Vernon Wilkinson, a former Assistant Commissioner of Police.
Okay.
Former president of North Stars Club.
That's interesting.
Yes, yes. And
Very interesting.
they all watch M.M Out There. So I'm saying hi to them, and I know you'll see this when it comes out. Apostle,
Yes, sir.
around the 10th, 11th of October, we did a show about the deterioration of the behavior of school children.
Yes, sir.
And it came to a head last week or a week before when a school boy was actually killed on the school premises.
Yes, sir.
Of course, there are lots of stories abound about what happened and so on, whether it was gambling or whatever. The point is that a life was taken on the school premises.
School premises, yeah.
And we spoke about that. Now, we made some recommendations too, you know.
Yes, we did.
Remember? Which nobody took, none of the authorities took heed, you know. But now, they're confiscating weapons, which they should have done before after they heard us.
Right.
They're checking the students as they come through, which they should have done before after they heard us. And the Barbados Union of Teachers is in an uproar. They should have security this and security that. We all told them what to do.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes, but they never paid any attention.
We did.
So tonight, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it again. Because the knives and other weapons that you confiscated last week, that wasn't anything. You didn't confiscate any guns, and they're guns. They are guns. The school children have guns. They have guns.
Yeah.
You didn't confiscate them. The next time, you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to be shot. And I blame the Minister of Education for this. Because M.M Out There, we gave them a warning. They didn't pay any heed. No, the same Minister of Education is in the newspapers and on the media talking this and talking that, talking this and talking that. You should be fired. You know, if a prisoner escapes from prison, the chief warden should be fired. Whether he's there or not, because the charges on him should be able to do that job. It's only in Barbados that the head does not pay the penalty for his or her subordinates. I am saying that the Minister of Education should have tendered her resignation immediately with that death. What's your say on that?
Well, I'll tell you this, again, Mr. Morris, this is a very unfortunate situation.
No, we're not glad about that.
Of course not. You know, the life of a young boy that could have gone on to be
Very productive.
God knows who he could have gone on to be has been snapped from him. It's been taken from him, and so it's not something that we should. I mean, it should be something to affect the whole nation. You know, one of the things though that I've mentioned here, because I sat on a secondary school board for 5 years.
That was St. Lucie Secondary?
Yes, sir. And I saw...
Who was that master up there then?
The headmaster at the time was Mr. Austin.
Mr. Austin? Yeah.
Mr. Lloyd Austin.
Yeah.
And So a lot of the things that I encountered being on the board, dealing with parents, dealing with students, the various situations, they were never pretty, but this was something that was escalating. Now, let me say this because I think I didn't get a chance to say this in our last session.
You have the chance now.
Yeah, I'm going to say that now. The three things that I've noted in my time there. Number one, the gang culture. Secondly, a deteriorating community culture. And then the third one is poverty. Okay? Now, my Bible tells me that a three-fold cord cannot be easily broken. You cannot break a three-fold cord.
A three-fold cord?
A three-fold cord.
What? A three-fold? F-O-L-D?
Yes.
Explain to the audience what
this
a three-fold
means
cord.
when you have three levels of consciousness, and you have three levels, three parameters, three variables that have entwined themselves or wrapped themselves together, you cannot break that cord like you could break it if it was just one.
I always say this, the apostle is very brilliant, and reiterate that every time on this show you will hear something that from the apostle and you probably didn't know. So we're here to educate you. Continue.
And that's what the wise man said. Solomon said that himself, and he knows what he's talking about. So one of the reasons why the ministries cannot handle this situation is because this is a threefold cord that has interwoven itself, and you cannot snap it like that. Okay? So the kids are bringing their gang culture and they're bringing their community culture. Gambling is not part of a gang culture. Gambling is a community thing. It is a wealth thing. It is a money-making thing that is within the community that comes into the school systems. Because as long as you are at a school, you're there to learn. The moment that you are at a school and you're gambling, you're bringing something that is external into a learning environment. Okay? Then the act of carrying out a murder is gang related. Okay? And many times when you look at the family setting, there is, and in our communities, there are high levels of poverty. So when you have those three levels that are combining, and our kids are coming to school with those three mentalities interwoven within them, you cannot break it. So kids are no longer at school because they're going to learn. It's an opportunity to act what you've been experiencing at home, what you've been experiencing within your community, what you've been experiencing within those that you associate with. And this is what's led to that situation. Our government is not equipped right now to handle that situation because it is our very government that allowed teachers.
Remember, stick a pin there.
Yes, sir.
Our government is not equipped to handle anything.
Well,
go ahead.
Say, and this is again one of the problems that we are facing because they made it clear that only the principal can administer punishment. I'm asking the question, why then do you have a court system? And the court system is to deal with offenses, people who break the law. We have punishment on several levels for individuals who break the law. We have punishment, the prison is there for people who get involved in money laundering, for people who get involved in drug trafficking, human trafficking, for fraud, for whatever.
All felonies.
Types of felonies. So I'm saying when it comes to your school system, you have a principal, you have a deputy principal, you have senior teachers, and when you say,
you even have counselors.
When you say that the principal is the only one that should be able to administer punishment on a child, you have taken away the flow of power within that school system. And one of the things that I would advise is, since that's how you're going to do it, we have principals that are females. Some of these young girls and young boys are taller and bigger than some of our principals, some of our teachers. A lot of our teachers are young males and young females who are still in reality growing up. Okay? So here's my point. If you really want to have a strong presence within the schools, you must have a very strong disciplinary procedure. To me, that means bringing someone in from the defense force. Okay? Carefully lay out based on the punishment system, based on the crime. Let me use that.
The offense
Rather, that is, displayed by that individual. So you have someone there that can carry out punishment. That's with 2 or 3 individuals from the defense force.
Such like a caning.
Yes.
A caning.
That carries out the punishment on that male or female. If it is a female student, then you have it done by a female.
Not necessarily.
I understand that, but I'm saying that you're also looking at the level of rights, because in some cases a female student might not necessarily, like for a male.
They have no say in the matter.
But again, that's what I'm saying. But I'm still laying this out as part of the principle that I'm trying to bring to the table. But the reality is that if students, like for instance, when I was at St. Lucie, there was a youngster who attacked a pregnant teacher. He's from Eden Lodge, and he attacked.
But that's a notorious area.
Yeah, he attacked a pregnant teacher with a plank, a piece of wood. A pregnant teacher. Okay, he's not thinking this is not just one life that you are threatening. This is a pregnant teacher.
More than 2, probably 3. You might have a twin.
Sat in the room as though he did not care. Do you understand what it was you were doing? And he sat in the room like he didn't care. The member of the board from the Ministry of Education said to him, "Do you understand why you were here?" He's not saying anything. He said, "Do you understand why you were here?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, if you understand why you're here, say something." He said something. Okay?
But he did ask him to say something, so he said something.
So he said something. This is what we're dealing with. And when you look at those 3 variables, I sat there and I started to write, because I think it was very important for me as a minister to have a clear understanding of what we're dealing with. And we have a 3-4 core that is not gang culture, let me say it again, deteriorating community culture, and the third thing is poverty. Those 3 things have now gotten into our children to a point that is disrupting a lot of what's going on within our school systems. And if it is not checked now, it's going to go from bad to worse.
Well, as far as it is right now, I cannot envision it going anywhere but worse. It's bad right now, and the only other level is worse. In fact, as I said, I graduated with English. You get worse. So when they get to that level of worse, it can only get worse.
Yes, sir.
So worse, and that's where it's heading. Apostle, we're coming to the end of part 1.
Yes, sir.
Right? And Thomas Jefferson, we always know that.
No, it's coming.
And I need to tell this not only to, and especially in this case, to the Minister of Education, Miss Bradshaw. Miss Bradshaw. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny.
Yes, sir.
But when the government fears the people, there is liberty or freedom. Always remember that. I'm just saying that, but I also think, this is my opinion from M.M Out There, that you should have resigned immediately. I'm not going to add it to the list of idiots yet. But, the end of part 1, M.M Out There saying, we'll be right back shortly with the Apostle Leroy Scantlebury. Let's move on, sir.
Thank you, sir.